Harry was delirious and fired a shot. The paranoid prince was sweating profusely, fearing that his family would hunt him down. Hello and welcome to the Princess Diana News YouTube channel. Well, it seems Prince Harry has completely lost touch with reality and his paranoia is getting stronger by the day, which is fueling his constant attacks on his family. This was reported by a prominent doctor exclusively to the National Enquirer. Carol Lieberman points out that Harry's interview with Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes showed that Harry had lost his way or, as the British say, lost the plot. In Harry Spears' memoirs, he shockingly claimed that he was actually just providing extra organs in case his brother William needed them. At least one doctor consulted by the Enquirer thought Harry's outrageous comments bordered on delusion. Clinically, I would say I'm worried he's crazy. That's what Connecticut psychologist Ph.D. Holly Schiff. She also said he was likely delusional and lying. Dr. Schiff believes that Harry's fantasy that Diana actually survived the fatal car crash and Harry's mistaken belief that Diana could walk through the door at any time were just defenses. She said your brain wants to keep you safe and the defense mechanisms are intelligent that it can have trauma sufferers creating narratives that are safer and easier for them to digest. Harry also made the shocking allegation that his stepmother, Camilla the Queen Consort, basically sacrificed him and William, his older brother on her PR altar. As she was trying to improve her image, he charged that his father, King Charles, was very cold when he broke the news of his ex-wife. Diana's death allegations that both doctors found pretty understandable. Schiff says, for Prince Harry, it may be easier to blame the rest of his family than face some of the actual hardships he has experienced, and for him to sit with those unpleasant and traumatic emotions and come to terms with them. Dr. Schiff also said Harry's portrayal of Charles and Camilla as villains actually gave him a reason to blame all of his problems entirely on them. But once Harry said Camilla was such a dangerous person, he eventually backed down on TV and then said she was just doing what she had to do when she announced herself as his mother's replacement in King Charles's life. That was after she had been his mistress for decades. That's not all. The rejected royal also hit out at suggestions that he and Meghan, whose mother is black, have been the target of Harry's family's racist comments about their unborn child. He also claimed that he killed 25 Taliban fighters during his second tour of duty as a soldier in Afghanistan. And he even went so far as to remove the dead terrorists from the chessboard. However, he later denied that he had ever bragged about it. Therefore, Lieberman believes that Meghan plays an important role in creating Harry's illusions. She explained that Harry and Meghan distorted the facts to fit a position they wanted to sell to the public, which was the case in this book. This only highlights his confusion and inability to grasp reality. Meghan pushed her prince to the extreme, creating the reality she wanted him to believe. He couldn't tell her story clearly because her memories were a mix of what actually happened in the past and what she thought happened. Chapter at the same time, Dr. Schiff had a lot to say about Harry's relentless accusations against everyone in his family, except himself and Meghan, of course. So in his view, this is just a coping mechanism of a very disturbed mind. She said it also gave her the luxury of abdicating responsibility so she could play the victim. Apparently, the brain works overtime during PTSD. This makes you feel like there's always danger lurking around the corner and you always need to be on your toes to protect yourself. She says that with Prince Harry, his delusions and paranoia match this type of hypervigilance. And not only that, according to a source, Harry is actually addicted to drugs and alcohol. And he is also somewhat disabled. He always was. He lives in a fantasy world and is the creator of this fantasy world. He views everything as either right or wrong. There are no shades of gray in his world. And he thinks that he is beyond reproach. No laws are going to apply to him, of course, but they do apply to other people. And Harry is always on the lookout for opportunities to believe that he is being chased by whoever. He runs like a chicken with a severed head and is afraid of everything. Harry is dangerous, unpredictable and very angry. He took this anger out on his family. He believes that he is ruining the reputation of his family, but it is not so. In fact, his work just backfired. In essence, Harry is now just a 12-year-old, timid child, surrounded by an adult's body. And until he gets real mental help, he doesn't have to come to terms with his delusions. But either way, if he doesn't get real help, we're going to see these crazy, awkward outbursts from him. And that's extremely unfortunate, especially if Harry has access to both financial and professional advice. But so far it seems that Harry has only sought help from people who tell him what he wants to hear. And it doesn't help him at all. In fact, it only worsens his confusion and anxiety. And now Harry has poured out his heart and his 400-plus page book to the world. It's really sad that Harry also tries to destroy so many other people in the process. And it seems that Harry has done absolutely nothing to improve his reputation or advance his career. When you think about it all, it's really sad that Harry allowed himself to be laughed at and ridiculed. He made himself the laughing stock of the world and received overwhelming criticism, which confirmed his stupidity and ignorance. Many people around the world now believe he is an imposter. We only get reputation once in this life, and once it's lost it's hard to get it back. It's also clear that this sentimental duo literally created their own paranoia out of thin air. Meghan led Harry to believe she would be killed like his mother. Well, that never happened and probably never will. Now Harry announced to the world that he had killed 25 Taliban members. Then, on the news, he said the media was wrong, which he never boasted about. I mean, now they're probably starting to understand that actions have consequences. The fact is that armies often kill people in battle. It's part of their job. It's really sad. No matter how much they want to avoid conflict, things can change quickly. They were either in a state of fighting or in a state of flight. You have to make a decision quickly. But no one came out and said how many people were killed. I mean, it can only be one person. But this one person is enough to change someone forever. It's no longer about shooting at targets on the range and just hoping to hit one. No, it's true now. They are shooting real people, people with families, and the Taliban will retaliate. Harry had a target on his back. Now I think that was actually a good reason for his paranoia. Harry really should have kept quiet about all this. When they're together, these two just broke up. And I'm sorry that Harry was deceived by Meghan and his mother from the beginning. I think she is already running away and trying to distance herself from him. So if that's the case, then what happens to Harry? Will the royal family bring him back? Will he be forced out of the spotlight like his disgraced uncle Andrew? Maybe. But first he really needed real help with his mental health issues. And you, what do you think of Harry and his wife? Let me know what you think in the comments section below and we can discuss this pairing together. If you find my video helpful, please consider leaving a like and sharing with someone who might enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Princess Diana News channel for more updates from our team. And now thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good holiday and we will see you in the next videos.